off. If they had different supports, I would say Doombringer as well, but it's just, I don't. Rana is still in a pool, and they're not going to change anything.
No, they're going to go for the Kunkka again. And we are focusing a lot of our attention on Boom at the moment. But that's because everybody knows about Team Spirit. They're the TI champs, and they have done really well. I also want to bring attention, before we talk in depth about this draft. Yesterday, we saw probably the most exciting game played on stage here so far between Team Spirit and OG, the second game of the series. If you haven't watched it, you probably should. It was incredible, but it also maybe gave Boom a couple of ideas about how to beat Team Spirit, because they lost all their 3 lanes in that game in particular, and I would like to see Boom try to recreate that feel of the game, as we have an Enchantress picked up for Roger, most likely.
I mean, they do need to focus on the strong lanes, especially against Team Spirit. They're like the beasts on lanes, and the way to address it, I mean, Kunkka is his first pick is just like, no matter what, he's gonna have a good lane, and I'm surprised. I'm actually not surprised. Like the Ember and Ange is like actually the top tier heroes on this tournament for sure.
Mirana's
and Walker is
available.
not touched, but it's just a different route for them, I guess.
Against the Enchantress, it makes a lot of sense, and a lot of these spirits, like even mobile heroes like Queen of Pain Puck, they do struggle against X marks the spot, but they don't go for it. They go for Weaver. Weaver has been played on, I'd say, mostly position 5 so far in this tournament, at least from the games that I've seen. After the nerfs, so it's not as strong in the lane anymore. You got to be careful about Shikuchi putting yourself in a tough spot, because the 3 extra added seconds on level 1 is very difficult, so you can't be as aggressive. But still, as a position 5, like, you have invisibility, you shove out the waves quickly, you unlock the Roshan as well with the bugs.
And I do love the bend from the Boom as well. Collapse on the Magnus. Like, I also kind of surprised that they didn't go for Mirana, especially against Enchantress. And with the setup already on Kunkka, I do think that Team Spirit is going to ban Mirana this time.
Yeah, I agree. It just feels like Mirana is a logical extension of heroes that are currently popular, right? If Kunkka is good, if Shadow Demon is good, if Bane is good, if these setup heroes are good, it should make sense that Mirana does have a place in the meta. But so far, Boom seems to be the only ones prioritizing it to such a degree. And I agree with Reza completely. If you're playing in Sench, you just pick Mirana, you arrow her creep, you can just follow her around to whichever lane she goes to. So I do expect to either see that banned or picked here.
I'm also surprised about this Necrophos ban.
Yeah, we haven't seen it at all, right?
Yeah,
No,
but I think they have some kind of inside information. They probably screamed them and they get owned by Necro. I don't know.
For sure. I mean, Necro has always been a counter to this Ember Spirit in the lane, but you also have Kunkka, so I don't think they're like want to lane this Necro. There's probably something else that's happening, but we just don't have the information. I thought we're gonna see more Necro being picked up after reading the changes. Maybe I just wanted to see him. It's kind of tricky, you know. You want to see heroes like, okay, we want to see Venomancer, Viper, Necro, but not for the long duration. We want to see them, you know, a couple of games, and they disappear and reappear in a month or two.
And Necro got so many nice changes this patch, and in theory, he's good against every single one of Collapse's heroes, right? They're all mostly strength cores, so it does make sense to an extent. I actually don't know if the teams have been scrimming each other that often because they just got here, but I wouldn't put it like above them if they just went back and were like, hey, do you guys want to play? That really could be something that we see, but it could also just be potential that they saw in Boom. Maybe they go through their Dota buffs, maybe they look at what Yopaj has been playing, and maybe that's the hero that he's been trying to push, so it's pretty cool to cover their bases here.
For sure. I mean, they do have a 18th pick on the Team Spirit, so they would know if the Necro would be like picked for the off lane or mid lane. They would know that to put Ember mid or safe lane in that sense. But I don't know, just like the bans from Team Spirit are not very convincing to me right now, but probably there is some idea behind this PA ban as well.
Well,
Maybe they're looking for the IO.
Boom did play PA today on Jackie, and it looked incredible, right? And I mean, on paper, like once PA gets that BKB Deso, she can shred through the Ember, she can three-shot that Enchantress, she has that added attack speed from Phantom Strike, so it makes sense. It's potentially not the best thing because you can always play around a PA, right? You can always draft around her, you can always punish her, but just the fact that it looked so effective today, with the minus armor from Weaver, maybe it's just something they didn't want to deal with. Right?
A game from the other day, they had really struggled. Tundra, PA, one of the ones that was like, it was 20-minute Battle Fury. She was forced out of the lane 6 or 7 minutes, and it was a rough one. But yeah, Jackie did have a great performance against Team Secret, so like you do not want to give him the same hero that he last played, you know, just have that little bit of an extra bit of a touch to the game because he just played it and boosted the confidence for sure.
It also kind of implies that Team Spirit is thinking this game is gonna, or would give PA time to get online, meaning they're not playing as fast as we may come to expect from the teams that we've seen on stage so far. So curious to see what they will pick up. They will go for an IO already. And IO Ember, of course, is a combination, but I think you want something else there too, Rezo?
I mean, for sure, you want to have some hero like LC or Slardar even for Team Spirit to pair it in the lane. And this is actually makes a perfect sense that they banned PA because PA is one of the better heroes against IO lineups, for sure.
I'm just not a big fan of IO Enchantress as a support duo. If things don't go well after the laning stage, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. I think it's very similar to Enchantress Shadow Demon, where you can't like make aggressive moves. But if, as you said, pair it up with something that has a low cooldown stun, you mentioned the Slardar. I'm a big fan of that, but they still don't know the matchup, so they might need to pick it blindly, and then Boom will respawn with something ranged. But we'll have to see. I just want to see some kind of a follow-up stun, some instant stun coming out from the Team Spirit on this pick.
I mean, right now the Legion commander makes even more sense against the Mirana to remove the arrow, to have a strong lane with Aya. And it just means like these two supports without any disables, it means that you need to have on your cores some sort of disable. Like you want to have some Sven, you want to have some LC, you want to have a Slardar. Some heroes that have catch. One thing that I really like that Team Spirit did so far is pairing up Io with Ursa, because it especially on the Radiant, because Roshan goes down very quickly, and it's just a great steroid for Ursa. I'm not saying it's a great Ursa game because you're playing against Weaver and also Mirana, so you don't have like two targets that you can lock on, so in those terms it's not really great, but we'll now maybe with the Tide Hunter, now it just got a little bit better.
Potential that I want to talk about. They did play some IO Monkey King Ember the other day. It also just gives them that disable they need. It's a good hero versus Tide. It's a good hero versus Kunkka. There's a potential there. I don't know if they're going to pick it here or just save it, but I feel like if they want to fit this Monkey King into their lineup, it has to be now.
Right now, I see very limited damage in Boom because of their lineup for heroes, and this is like such a great game for Ursa if they want to go for it. Even LC is pretty good, and I don't know. It's just like with the IO, if you don't burst the hero and IO heals it, like what do you do?
Yeah, if they use the combo and don't get any kills, if they heavily commit, like get something, I don't know, if they don't get anything out of the Ravage, I think they're going to be in a lot of trouble because their team fight right now is use Ravage, use both, and then like try to delete one, maybe even two heroes with it, and then like re-engage.
There's your Monkey King, Effie, good call.
Yeah, I mean, they have to pick it here. It just gets found out, right?
Yeah.
But the issue with that is they probably do see it coming. But right now on Boom, so they are going to X, they are going to Arrow, and they do have Swarm. But who's going to do the damage to kill through all of the sustain? Because you are going to have these Nature's Attendants too. And we see how tanky an Ench can get later on in the game. So the carry that they pick here has to be super bursty. I'm thinking something like a Terrorblade even for Boom. You need something to correct this.
Yeah, I agree. Like their carry needs to do a lot of work this game for sure. It needs to be a huge damage output.
I know there's nothing to buff this hero up at the moment, but a Tiny, we've seen it time and time again. It wasn't the greatest hero for Jackie that we saw yesterday, but would that hero do what you want it to be doing? Would that be enough, or is that just not enough damage yet?
There will be a lot of damage coming out of Tiny, but maybe not at the stage in the game that they need it the most, right? Which is when they're running around together trying to take these heroes down. But honestly, it's entirely going to depend on Yopaj because Kunkka can do a lot of damage if he gets off to a good start. The issues this hero encounters is if he kind of equalizes and the other team gets a net worth advantage, and then it's like, where's my damage, bro? But I mean, we'll see how it goes. I like this Night Stalker and Slider band. Make a lot of sense. We called out the Slider earlier.
I think there's also an option that they play like carry Weaver. There's like no real lockdown, especially the two supports are very vulnerable. Or if they want to get, I just love Ursa. I don't know why. I feel like it could be a really good pickup also for Boom. It's not a tower damage, but against Monkey King, against all of these heroes, you don't really care too much. There is a Dispel on the overpower, but Ursa is one of the few heroes that can stand inside the ring and just fight Monkey King and kill him, actually.
And it's also good against all of the heroes that Collapse has left.
This is a cool Batrider ban because they're actually acknowledging that maybe we just put this Kunkka on the safe lane and get our damage from our mid laner. It doesn't necessarily have to be the mid Kunkka. So it's a cool move by Spirit to cover their bases because on paper it would have been a great bad game, good against all of their heroes. So yeah, nicely seen there by Spirit.
And the Ricky there as the last man coming out from Team Spirit. His Boom is going to have to reveal what they want to do, where their Kunkka is going to go, and where their damage is going to come from.
Maybe even Troll is a good pick for them. I'm looking at Troll and Ursa for the Boom, and LC for the Team Spirit.
Yeah, because I think that's a good suggestion, because they need something that Tidehunter is going to be afraid of, and against these four heroes, he doesn't care. Like, you know that he's going to get the Ravage off. If they had different supports, I would say Doombringer as well, but it just, I don't think it works. You need something with the lockdown.
Are they going to pick Mars for Spirit?
No,
Mars is banned.
Oh, it's banned. Okay, I was blind. I was like, wait, what is that hero from here? Okay, what does that leave for Collapse's hero pool?
I mean,
if someone says Centaur, I
Centaur's so bad.
Centaur,
please, no more Centaur. No more Centaur. No more.
I don't think anyone wants to see that hero show up, but who knows, really. Mentioned, of course, Legion Commander, you guys already mentioned, so that one's still in the pool.
They might even think for the tri-lane aggressively against the Razor.
There's also potential for Axe. They did play it before, and it does kind of give them the much-needed initiation.
Yep.
Oh, Axe is a good idea.
It's good.
Too,
you can creep skip, and you can also have a lockdown for Tidehunter.
And Axe got a lot of cool changes. There's minus armor on like the side of Boom, and Axe got a lot of armor.
Infinite scaling!
Infinite scaling.
Love it.
Infinite armor.
Infinite armor. You gotta kill people, though.
I don't know why I can never see the first ban from here.
Spirit is in a tough spot. Like they need to figure out how to counter Razor and also have something with the low cooldown stun to control them.
And they're taking all their time. They only got 10 seconds left, and as you can see, they're still discussing it. So they made their minds up. It's a Darkseer. We have not seen Darkseer other than the hands of Mind Control, I want to say. Did we see it once before by someone else?
I think 33 played it, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, correct.
So he does have 2 really cool Ion Shell targets in Monkey King and in Ember, and they can, in theory, play really fast after his timings. He doesn't really have the best wall illusions coming out of Boom, so it's more so not going to be playing around the wall, just playing to buff his teammates and getting auras and just fighting. So it's a cool concept for sure, and it does give them team fight, right? Even if it's not the best wall game, wall is a great setup for a fight. So I like it. It makes sense.
I'm not feeling this team's
I'm not
lineup. I
feeling
gotta
this
agree.
too.
Like I've said once, this looks good when they had no stuns, and I'm not doing it again. I feel like they needed something else as a last pick. We've seen in the previous series when OD was picked, and it didn't really feel good for a reason. In the end, it ended up being not so good, and I feel like this Darkseer is gonna do the same thing. Also, is there a combo of vacuum into what?
No, I mean to stun of Monkey. Yeah,
It's more so just playing around your allies, right? That's kind of the idea that they're going for. I think that Boom have played a really fast style of Dota since the beginning of this tournament, and they seem to be the kind of team that can just run at someone like Yatoro when he's doing his little farm game. So I feel like if they can interrupt his timings, they can actually just have a really great shot of completely snowballing. But I think if Yatoro gets his timings here, they can do their team spirit macro gameplay and find their ins back into the game.
Okay, final words for you, Rizzo?
I mean, I think like this game is very similar to the previous one with OG that they played, but except like right now they don't have the good initiation stun from the collapse, and they cannot outplay the enemies as easily as they did in the last game. So I'm pretty sure Boom is gonna take this one.
All right, it was game 1 of a best of 3 coming your way here in Elimination Series, and we're gonna listen to the wonderful sounds of Lyrical and Fogged.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. And
Now it's back to Sheev.
Maybe
And
she's
back
going
to
to
us.
cast the game. Who knows? There's a chance.
That'd
Dude,
be hype.
Spirit versus Boom. It's
Yep.
all happening right now. Darkseer, I always love that hero. It's so
course.
cool to me. But like the panel was talking about, there's some issues right there. Is there anything that really stood out to you in this draft that you wanted to highlight at all?
It just looks like there's, it's going to be a lot of fighting, obviously, as we've seen Boom doing very often. And now we see a very low cooldown pace draft that I see Spirit going for. I don't think, what's the longest cooldown? It's like your Wall and your Wukongs, but those aren't really, you're going to be playing without those. You're going to be looking to make a lot of action. I think on the side of Spirit, it's a bit more, it's a little bit slower, just because of the Tidehunter. In a lot of situations, you're going to need, Ravage to take a fight. And I'm curious to see how these lanes are really going to play out, because we did see Spirit pick 3 of these heroes last night, and they decimated the game. The IO Monkey King completely took over, and the Ember Spirit Toronto Tokyo had a full free game.
Right. Well, it's going to be something to watch for. And like you talked about, just sort of completely taking advantage of that regen that they had. And, well, they see FBZ walking up the hill, and everybody is just going to back away from there. No need to get in their face.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what these lane setups are going to be. Are they going to look to dodge, or are they just going to send the Tidehunter versus this IO and Monkey King? Because I think if he's up there, he's going to really struggle. I think it's going to set him. It's going to put him just really on the back foot. And I think Darkseer overall is going to have a better time, really. He is versus a bit of an annoying lane, but I still think he's going to be able to get a lot down there because he's going to have the Enchantress creeps, an Ion Shelled Enchantress creep. These new creeps, if he gets one of those, I don't even know what the hell they're called, the ones that shoot the seed. That's the only one I don't know. It's like the Thornling, or I don't even know what it's called anymore, but either way, the one that shoots the seed.
The Pine Cone.
The Pine Cone thing seems super powerful. If they get one of those with an Ion Shell on it, I can see some really good potential for it. But let's see how it all goes down, because this is a very comfortable draft from Boom. They've got the Kunkka, they've got the Mirana, pretty much 2 big specialties.
And even just having that lane control that you can sometimes get, and if they manage to sort of have an Ion Shell in the Darkseer and maybe just run it down with the Ench, you can even use just Enchant to sort of slow them down enough that you can run them down with the Ion Shells. So
yeah. Maybe some cool vacuum combos onto a Centaur as well too that the Enchantress has, but let's see, because it is double range, so that could be a bit problematic for Collapse just because the Ion Shell isn't going to be as effective. They're going to zone him off the first wave as best as possible.
Yeah, and already Sakuchin through, trying to do what they can on Schem.
They can't take too much time on him, because you have to make sure that you don't let the wave go under your tower, because then what happens is it pushes back out, and then the Darkseer gets experience. So yeah, really emphasizing on pushing him out level 1.
And Collapse there, taking a couple more punches. Yeah, this is the danger, is of course, if you do get zoned out constantly, Razor is just going to have a completely free time for himself, and already denied right in their face.
All 4 denies. Really nicely done, Jack.
Yeah, this is potentially going to go really poorly if they're not careful. So they'll keep their eyes on that one, see how it goes. And of course, back towards mid now, it's going to be the consistent matchup that we've seen, Kunkka versus Ember.
Yeah. Yopaj so comfortable with this one, tends to win the matchup, but not like the Ember Spirit falls too far behind. However, do we see the camps blocked at the moment? We do see a sentry placed from Boom, blocking that small camp, so that will allow Yopaj to pull decently ahead, because Tokyo's not going to be able to walk over to the opposite side and farm the Kunkka's camp, because you just can't risk a Kunkka.
Right, and in fact, Kunkka's probably going to be the one that can go on in there and take it himself if they want to.
Absolutely.
Oh, the ghost. So annoying, but about to wear off anyways, but still getting some good damage there onto Skem.
I mean, this Shukuchi nerf is really significant. I'm seeing it all the time. They just get like, look, in the other one, he would have not taken like 160 damage or something there if he had the 3-second cooldown reduction, which he had in the last patch, of course. See top?
Good stuff. Yaro taking a lot of damage there from Tim's. The punches, super annoying.
And they got a side pull off. That's always huge. The camp was actually left open. It's surprising to see that. We see that Tempest, of course, that tornado coming out from the Wild Wing. But yeah, camp was open. They're playing versus Marana, so I feel like Boom, very happy that camp is open, be able to pull it back. Tidal are doing quite well, 9-3, and you see Darkseer is suffering a lot more than FBZ is at the moment because of getting that lane positioning pulled back.
Right, and right now Roger's kind of just like jungling at the moment, actually.
Yeah.
So that really going to change all that much. Does get the big creeps. This is going to be some solid damage. Going for right clicks, and Collapse just going to get the regen back up. Level 2 on him, already taking a point in the Surge.
Well, these lanes are already looking pretty rough. 17-6, 9-2 on the Ember. Yopaj is crushing it in the mid lane right now. And he is, I didn't see, did he get the stack on his, he did not stack his small camp yet, but just focusing more on that actual laning right now and doing a great job.
Really impressive. Yeah, across all of the lanes. And this is something that we've seen happen to Spirit a couple of different times, where they lose the lanes really bad and then can manage to pull it back through like solid mid-game fights. The question, of course, is can they do that against Boom? This team, they like to play fast. So we'll have to watch for that. In terms of like the way that you see this going, as Team Spirit, can you afford to just keep everything static? Is there anything you can even really do to change the situation right now? Because they're kind of just getting stomped out all of these.
No, I don't think right now they can actually change the lanes up. I think it takes time. Darkseer always has a rough start, so I don't know about this rough of a start. He tends to have a rough one though. It's gonna start getting a bit better once he gets some levels. But yeah, this basically 9 denies on the Razor. Look at just the denies from the side of Boom. They have 24 denies between their 3 lanes, while on the other side they only have 4 denies, so that's pretty massive.
Yeah, that is a serious problem. I mean, they're like, all right, well, we don't really have an offlaner, so I'm just going to get some jungle, and actually, yeah, get some solid damage there.
He's got good regen, but yeah, it takes a bit of a beating, and he knows he can chase around the Enchantress. This is similar to what we were seeing the Monkey King doing from Saksa, just really disrupting Kuroki when he was playing it, and then it's just a 1v1 in the bottom lane a bit, so Collapse. Now he's getting a little bit of pressure onto Jag.
Ooh, yeah, and the level 2 Ion Shell, he's going to throw that one out there and going to miss a couple of creeps here.
Yeah, it's low on mana too.
Yeah, has to back away. And actually, he's going to TP all the way back home after pushing the wave under tower.
Roger's just farming jungle. He's like, I can't help you, man. Like, you just got to take care of yourself. Tokyo.
X. He does have 2 points in the slight, tries to dodge it, but
he baited him.
Pulled back in. Yopaj hits there. A couple more punches. Won't be enough.
But the denies, look at this.
Yeah.
He's even glyphing the wave so he can walk in and now threaten Tokyo's life too. This is a big play.
Yeah, sleight of fist, but then hits him afterwards. And again, this whole wave, I mean...
He's owning him off a whole wave. He's going to hit 6 here. He's going to have over a full level advantage over the Ember Spirit now. Holy moly, Yopaj.
Dude, we need to make a compilation of just like all of the laning that Yopaj has done, because it feels like he hasn't lost one yet.
I mean, they just sent 2 of their core heroes back to base. Like, that is... I mean, that's pretty huge that Boom's able to do that so early on.
Jeez. Yeah, this is a problem for the old Spirit right here. Oh, okay, Ion Shell.
There it is. The Ion Shell creep. Not really doing the most at the moment, but...
Vacuum back afterwards. It's still not going to be enough damage. Needs that level 5.
He's still burning. Like, the Razor's still burning down.
Yeah, it's true, actually.
It might not kill...
Ooh, it's pretty fast. Oh, he didn't chase it through. Oh, a little unfortunate there. And
he's going to give the life of it, perhaps, too. One more hit.
Oh, back towards mid.
The arrow.
Got him. That is not enough. And first blood actually drawn by Tim's. Able to get the kill, but right now, Boom, just everywhere.
And a big rotation, 5 minute 40-second. Rune going to be coming up in 10. We see Spirit setting up to double check it to at least deny it away from Yopaj. But yeah, what a start for the side of Boom. This Kunkka is going to be massive. And look at the stacks he's got prepared to make him even bigger.
Yeah, that one, it does look like they were able to get a block out on that hard camp.
Yep.
Sentry down and much needed.
That's a big ancient stack though. Tim's has already been snatching, of course, those big creeps, so it's not really much at all because it hasn't blocked too. But yeah, like a triple or quad stacked ancient already for the Kunkka.
And you can see Tim's moves on in, takes that bounty rune away. Ench has been consistently getting hers at the very least on the other side of the map.
And even with Tim's moving away from top lane, Tidehunter is actually ahead of the Monkey King somehow. So everything looking to be going really well for the side of Boom, even as Phase Boots finished up already on the Tide.
Another Ion Shell with the creep, but this one not going to last too long. What can they do?
It's a level 3 Ion Shell, though.
Yeah, Hoof Stomp afterwards, but can't get his real hero on it either. So that does at least force them off the side here, and this is going to allow Collapse to get a whole wave. But tough times in each of these lanes, and Weaver actually ends up going down the Hoof Stomp again.
And
this one could be big.
Yopaj is rotating. He had a haste rune, immediately sprinting down. It's spotted.
Play.
Jackie is not going to die.
Yeah, they won't be able to get him. And Collapse now going to get found again. Yopaj pulls him back in and gets the kill. Just everywhere right now on this Kunkka.
Just another day at work. Making it look real easy. 1,200, 1,300 against his counterpart ahead. And all the little things, as we mentioned always, blocking the small camp, just playing aggressive, pushing him off the wave, having Tim's rotate around that first rune.
Boom, just
really
look unstoppable right now.
Yeah.
Well, a 2,000 gold lead at 7 minutes. Phase Boots done for Yopaj. Collapse going to head back out. Triple Null Talisman. No boots. Going straight into the Aghanim Scepter.
And what do we have Miposhka doing in the jungle? Because I've been seeing the Monkey King alone. I assume he's just got some stacks going to be able to amplify the Ember Spirit up since he's already had that tough game. But as you see, pointed out, of course, Tim's, he already has the ward down. It's going to get taken out, but it's still just to scout it out, so they will have all that information if they'd like to contest, and they're going to be able to contest because of how ahead they are.
Arrow pulls him back in, but Miposhka is going to make sure that they can't do anything else to Toronto Tokyo right there.
He's just going to go farm him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to see the ward too, so they're going to get that extra bit as well. And they're going to contest.
It looks like Tim's at least wants to stick around and soak experience if possible, but they're not actually going to go for any extra contest there.
Okay.
Collapse. Surges, runs away. TP rotation, though. They got him. X is there, and Collapse going to fall. Oh, back up there. Okay, maybe not. Well, the vote's still going to come out, but for the moment, this is Yopaj TP'd in for this.
He's going to be stuck up there for a while.
And the wall's going to punch him. I mean, slowly,
what does he do?
Steadily.
He's going to slowly tick down, yeah? He has to just let the illusion hit him. I think that's the best bet. Don't kill the illusion.
Well, it's going to keep coming back again, too, but...
Yeah.
Yopaj, he's chilling.
Oh, it's spawned on low ground. That's actually probably better.
Yeah.
He's just continuing to farm it. He's very calm too.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Roger goes down.
Well, he's gonna hang out for a little bit.
Oh, he tried to push himself down.
Yeah. Stop and Yopaj, he's just hanging out. Oh my God, this is what happens.
Honestly, that's pretty big. Now Ember Spirit's they can't
have a TP.
They can't go contest the stacks. So Ember Spirit's gonna be able to farm these stacks up and
dude.
Yeah. Are they gonna plant another?
How is this a thing?
What are they trying to? Are they trying to plant another tree or something to push him down?
Oh no, Yopaj.
Whoa.
This is his game now.
Yep.
Dude, how does a start like that get just thrown this far off the mark?
It's just big plays. Huge plays, really. Or collapses. Yeah, he's just got to, we're going to keep he's laughing. He's like, yep.
This poor guy.
It happens. How long's he got left on the TP? It's flying out right now. Should be back up in a moment.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, it's back up now.
Back up. He's grown attached. Okay, yeah, he's going to go now.
He has to go back to base because he wants to refill as well. So a lot of time gained. I mean, just a small vacuum play from Collapse does wonders, really.
I mean, that's worth for like the gold of his death.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Look at the Ember. Like Ember was about, what was I saying? Like 1,200, 1,300 gold behind the Kunkka. 400 gold behind now, just because of all that time bought from a vacuum onto a cliff. Yeah, huge. Big brain.
What an absolutely enormous play.
Yeah. What an absolutely enormous brain, I thought you were going to say. But yeah,
well, and the thing that's crazy about that, too, is, like, imagine if they accidentally get the Weaver instead of the Kunkka up there.
Yep.
Right? They only had one spot, and he took it. In the meantime, though, Collapse going to try and get active again on bottom for Tim's. Probably just going to cut the wave afterwards.
Collapse is also level 8. So, like, looking at the Razor level 9, Collapse level 8, like, it's all kind of worked out for them. I would say after such a rough start, at least in the lanes, they've recovered really nicely. But now, Boom, of course, with these stacks, going to pull back up ahead to over 2k advantage. And the Kunkka is still like level 10. Ember, though, level 9. So huge recovery, as we keep mentioning. Yeah, really cool stuff.
Well, and that clearing does end up building a nice little chunk of gold into the favor of Boom again, and these heroes still incredibly strong at this point, but it does feel like a lot of the bleeding has stopped.
Yeah, just they got a lot of time. They got a lot of time to just farm when Kunkka was not a menace anymore, killing the lanes constantly. So big play, Scam. He's gonna peek. He's gonna scout. He's like, all right, they scout. They farmed all their stacks, of course, as we most likely expected. And they are gonna Moonlight Shadow to look for something. Some TP's down. Here comes Yopaj again.
They find him. X is there. Do they have any follow-up? The arrow already connects, but they're bringing in the pine cone. That's a big boat afterwards. Do they have enough for the kill? Collapse.
He's still alive.
Well, ring around the rosy actually gets out of there for the moment. Wall back down.
It's everybody.
Manages to live to get the wall down, but I don't know if it's going to end up being enough. Poshka's there. Yadaro's over to the side. Yopaj turned upon, found again. Going to get pummeled down by the Monkey King as well as Toronto Tokyo.
And they'll get him this time.
Yeah, they'll find that kill. And FBZ, I mean, he's also here. Gets a courier kill, but
Yotaro is really strong. With the IO behind him, like they need to kill Miposhka to be able to go for Yotaro. They're pinging out.
The pine cone's still hanging out there. Arrow goes out, is going to connect. Tons of damage out. Yadaro trying to survive through this one. Couple more punches out. Incredibly
He's just getting healed. Like the salve is going on the IO. They have to get Miposhka if they want to go for Yotaro.
On the other side, Toronto Tokyo's still living, chasing down Tims, finds him, Sleight of Fist dead.
And he
TP
gets
out, and there is nothing to cancel this.
Ooh. Big play for Spirit. Somehow the gold lead actually went up for Boom during that. I don't know how, but
happening? What? There's just
Spirit's just heroes breaking everybody,
running at them.
Oh my
God! Your shenanigans, we're killing y'all.
A big win there for Spirit. I don't know. I honestly saw the gold lead somehow shift toward Boom during that whole dive, but that was definitely a big play for Spirit. I guess mid tower was taken out, but look at these plays. Spirit like continuing to chase, getting another kill.
5. All right, they're tired of losing lanes. They want to start winning these ones and taking down those fights early. So
yeah, wow.
A really cool bluff. And I guess, again, like you're going Shadowblade on Yopaj. Sometimes we've been seeing like the BKBs early on. I don't know. How do you feel about the state of the game right now? Is either team like significantly happier with the way this is going?
I think Spirit's happy with the way they've recovered such painful lanes, honestly. I think this item build also, like the BKB, like some of the games you see a particular way for you to just get burst down, like this Mars, the Mars combo that then +1 or something. This game, it's not like he's going to get chain stunned to death. Right. He's going to be able to play around. There's like a chain and a boundless that he really has to be worried about. But this is huge. Look at these rallies. Yeah, of course, as tower gets taken out quickly, and Spirit completely back in the game. Halfway to Aghanims on the Darkseer too. So we were mentioning they've got this really fast-paced run-at-you lineup that is very not cooldown-based at all on Spirit. If once they get that Ags on the Darkseer, throwing that onto the Monkey King and the Ember Spirit, that's going to be really strong versus Boom.
It's just an incredible amount of damage.
Yep.
When you have 3 Ion Shells running potentially on top of 1 target, they're going to die. And of course, that's where Boom is probably going to need to get into those BKBs later.
And that's where it could hurt Yopaj that he is going to be going for the Shadow Blade. We'll see if it does pay off for him.
So, still a 2,000 gold lead. Boom. They have looked quite good so far, and, well, not going to go in for that chase down there. They have a lot of heroes back towards mid. Yopaj.
Razor's low mana. They have Ravage, though, and Yopaj just looking.
Yeah, he has a Blink Dagger here.
Oh!
Look out, FBZ, if they get vision.
And the Tumbler toy to dodge the X arrow. I can't believe that actually worked.
I mean, that's a good thing. Scam.
Oh, that is...
Oh, down low and from downtown. Ends up going down. Poor Scam.
Big plays. Full Maelstrom now finished up for the Ember. They find the IO.
Yeah, that's nice. Toronto Tokyo finds the backline, though. Tims is there. And the Remnant out after. Again, FBZ playing with this Blink Dagger is always threatening Team Spirit if they get a little bit too grouped together. And already the Monkey King done with the Battle Fury, 15 minutes.
So the greed will start to pay off. As we do see BKB on Razor, of course, finished up with pretty traditional starting items. The Falcon Blade into BKB on Razor, so he's going to be really strong versus the majority of Team Spirit's heroes. But Monkey King's just going to play a bit of a farm game for now until he feels ready to fight. And he's queued up the Diffusal next. Honestly, this item on Monkey King is insane now. The buff on, the change on it just feels really nice to feel how cheap it is. Collapse. Oh
my God, they don't see him.
Pass the trees.
Yeah, just out of range, and now we'll get caught. Boat is there, and the big old chuck down. Purple-headed man is gone. So another solid move by Boom as they manage to pick off that offlaner. Where do they want to go next? Tidehunter also queuing up. Looked like an Aghanims there for a second.
I think he had Yules and then Ags queued up. Maybe he's now just going straight for the Aghanims, it feels like, as Hims dead in one slide.
That's all it takes. This hero does so much damage.
With the IO behind you, with the spell lamp whenever you're tethered up is absurd, especially once you got your Maelstrom too, so. Do we have any shards picked up? No, not just yet. Just taking a look at that. Just we have it that 16-minute mark. Not really the craziest of shards this game until later on. Well, they will start building up, but yeah, compared to like the usual that we've been seeing a lot of teams like prioritizing early ones. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, the Darkseer one he'll get, but he needs his Aghanims. He probably wants the Blink before he gets the Shard too.
Yeah.
So we'll see all those come out eventually.
Well, and that is the weird one too, where it's like against BKBs it doesn't do anything, so kind of annoying. But we'll see how it goes. And again, Boom sitting pretty, not really trying to push the tempo that much. Seems like they're very content just keeping on farming up, but I do have to wonder, like, is this Monkey King keeps on growing in net worth, and you want like BKB first on Razor? Are there going to be any issues there? We'll have to see.
I think Boom wants to try to force some issue here. They've got Ravage, they've got their ults at the ready. The BKB, like you said, on Razor, they want to try to take some fight. They don't want this Battle Fury Monkey King to just start getting all the space in the world, because you're just playing into their hands of the greed.
Oh, they push out the top lane again. Collapse, backs away.
This is nice though. Boom, taking the enemy jungle away, not letting them farm over here. Yopaj may find a catch.
Roger gets the heal out. He's going to be fairly tanky. Do they have enough to get the kill? Yes, they will. So they bring down Roger while down bottom, pressuring out that tower TP, or rather just jump away for Yadro. But,
two heroes come down. There's still a ward to scout, but they're invisible.
Yeah, and this is just going to be Miposhka giving up his life for this one. So they get the kill onto the IO now as they pull him back on in.
Ooh,
wait a minute.
It's going to make him work for it.
Yeah, they got him. And on the other side, Root catches Tim's.
It spawned and he jumped. His reactions were too quick for himself, honestly. There, his instincts. He's like, oh god, wait, it's not. It spawned right after. Oh god. All right, still very close. 3K lead for Boom. Still keeping that consistent and hanging on to Ravage. Getting pretty close to an Aghanims on this tide too. That is very impressive.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, if he's going to scale, then things start to look pretty good there. Because, you know, at least for now, Darkseer's definitely behind the tide.
Yeah. But I think the Darkseer it's different kind of hero because he's so ready to fight now too, right? Yeah. Like Aghanims is ready, he's level 11, he's good to go. He's just going to start getting those Ion Shells out onto his cores. And they could look to fight back, for sure. Even though they are playing into these big Ravages and all that, they have such an overwhelming amount of damage that comes out from this Ember Spirit.
Double Ion Shell on that wave, but then immediately pops Eye of the Storm to clear it out. So they will have a creep wave up there if they want it. But at least for now, hanging out together, Roger will run into Tim's, and Toronto Tokyo jumps away from the rest of Boom. So again, they continue to gain net worth on the side of Boom. 4,000 gold lead now, and Courier not quite going to go down there.
They're not like forcing super hard is the thing I'm noticing. Like everyone's just chilling back, kind of farming. Like Skem's doing neutral creeps. You see the Tiderunners like farming mid. They're all really split up. Actually, like both teams just very split up trying to deal with these lanes. And that's where the Darkseer I feel like starts to push the edge of lane push.
Ravage.
But the combo
got him right at the start. Arrow afterwards. This is a big kill. They take down Toronto. It felt like that could have happened at any point if he just was a bit too far out. But Boom taking this moment now to come in and invade the triangle and some dominance, but now maybe it's some trouble. Tim's trying to run away from that. But Io keeping him up alive. He's taking so much damage out of living through it. He's able to get reload. But they pull him right back in.
Oh, Yopaj. What a play.
Yeah, Kunkka still pretty good against Io. And Roger going to be slowed down there again for a second. But it's kind of strange decision to jump in. I guess he thought they were more separated.
There's Miposhka as well. I think he thought he had the backup of his teammates. I think he thought he had the Darkseer there too, because Ravage was used. They want to try to play around those cooldowns, but unable to find it. Because it was both Ravage and Boat that was used before to kill that Ember Spirit. So I guess he really thought that he was going to be able to just stun and get the Wukongs, but not the case, and the Torrent connects perfectly.
Yeah, a little interesting that he went for the hits onto Tim's before popping the Wukongs right there, but regardless, it's what ended up happening, and now a more substantial lead for Boom. 6,000 gold in their favor.
And no way for Team Spirit to really take advantage of those cooldowns that were used either. Boat's back up, Ravage is going to be back up shortly.
Game looking a little bit tough for Team Spirit, and Boom, very, very comfortable with it.
Yep, super comfortable draft for them. This is something that they've played a million times before, of course, with that Kunkka. You've seen him scale so much, Yopaj. And I think that might be the Ags on Tide. Already done. So, Kunkka cleave, Ags Tide, the minus armor. Some of these squishier heroes are gonna look even squishier. Io in particular, if he gets hit by... There's a Gush, there's Weaver Bugs, and then the cleave. Like, this is tons of damage that is going to be coming out from Spirit in the next fight, too.
Well, and it's like, I mean, even Ench, right? Like, she survives sort of by virtue of, like, you know, being able to heal and you can't punch her, but Cleave...
Cleave, you can't do anything about it, yeah. And almost a refresher done for the Razor, too.
This is strong timing.
This is looking... This next fight could be really hard for Team Spirit, because they're not going to have the BKBs for this Ravage, and Boom's just still hunting.
Paj looking around. Yadaro. Ooh, FBZ. I mean, they are right on top of him. Don't move all, but they get the vision. And now in some trouble. Collapse moving in. Has back.
Reload.
Not going to drop it. The reload gets him out. So no X afterwards, but they will be able to find the IO on the other side of this one.
Yopaj wants a secondary. He has a DD, so damage.
Oh, Haydn trying to get him out of vision, and just going to be able to connect on it. Oh, and Maposhka goes down there, but Collapse in some trouble. Tries to tumble his toy to get away. Not quite going to happen, but the Pulse command drops down afterwards.
BKB.
Collapse can't get away. They cleave off of Yadro, and now he's out of the Wukong. Oh, this has been an absolute disaster right here for Team Spirit as they just get ran at. Triple kill for Yopaj.
Boom is playing the map just so cleanly. They're like, the important thing is that they've been keeping all their lanes kind of pushed out, so they're putting Spirit in these weird situations where they have to deal with lanes constantly, and it's causing them to get caught in those spots. Of course, the ward there, the front thing that initially catches the Monkey King, but they just have so much information to go on because they keep pushing these lanes in, and every single fight they have, it feels like they always have one of those big spells available, either Boat or the Ravage, as we see coming in right here.
Yeah, and again, one of those instances where one leads to the next, to the next, to the next, and I mean, Spirit, they are just not altogether ready for the fight, and I'm wondering if they're going to be now.
Roche just got killed, and they're already playing into BKB Refresher Razor. Like, these items are starting to come out too big, too fast for Spirit to handle. They haven't been able to find a fight themselves at all. It's Collapse looking for something, but it's a double BKB Razor.
Your Surge is gonna run out, you're just dead. And Scam? Ooh, not quite there with the Gush. Give him a high five at least. No, left behind.
Boom is looking out of control this game already. Immediate smoke, looking to swing down. Lane's in a good position, so looking to catch somebody that's pushing. Tokyo does have BKB, so has a way to cover himself now.
You would hate to have to use it right here, and yeah, he's wisely going to hold on to that one. Maposhka going to be found. Yopaj pulls him in. A couple more punches, gets the kill. Again, you're not really having anything on the side of Team Spirit to deal with this.
And the thing is, too, is like they have this Enchantress that, ideally, whenever you pick the Enchantress, is to do a lot early game. It's like Roger's been very quiet. He hasn't been able to do anything. 24 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he does even for the rest of the game. Like, what do you do as an Ench? Just like stand near somebody and heal him?
No, I mean, there's nothing. Look at the build he's going for. He's like, I kind of have to go for some like weird carry, weird stuff, because I don't know what else to do in this game anymore at this point. Boom. Likely with a massive advantage in this game now, like probably 90% win chance or something like that, because it just feels like they've got absolute map control.
87. Well, it's going up. Maybe we get towards that pretty quickly here. Yeah. Things don't change soon.
I mean, look, another item is almost finished up for the Razor. Silver Edge already finished for Yopaj, so he's got a way to deal with the Monkey King if he's hitting him straight forward with that to break him.
Collapse, hit by the Torrent, and now they move in with more. They've got the bugs, and on the other side, they find it. Ravage there. Yadro in some trouble. They blow up Collapse, kill Maposhka, and now Yadro also in some trouble, although he actually turns to fight and doing a lot of damage there to FBZ. They take off the Jingo, and well, Roger's also caught. Everybody's dying all over the freaking map, and Spirit just can't do anything about it.
Are we going to see Spirit even able to take an actual fight head on without just dying everybody all over the place? Because it feels like the game might end without them ever being able to take a 5-on fight from the way that Boom is moving.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this one. Now, 2.5 minutes left of Aegis. Maybe after that point you can start to go for some type of a play, but
I think they might just be too far behind at this point. Like, I don't even know what they got Aghanims. What, it feels like it's been like 10 minutes now or something on the Darkseer, but they haven't been able to utilize it at all, and now it doesn't feel like it's going to do much of anything. Boom. Playing relentless.
They're really having an amazing time, and yeah, Refresher coming out for Tide. Like, you got Refresher BKBs on like several different cores. You got Aghanims. Like, how are you going to deal with this? Honestly, don't know if it's going to happen. This is looking incredibly difficult. So 22-8.
I think at this point, yeah, it's one of those where you're looking for them to make mistakes. Right? They're getting some space. Look at like Roger's the one pushing the top lane with creeps and stuff. But if you want to see something pretty sad, it's when you bring up the vision of Team Spirit at this point in the game, because top is pushed out nicely, but the map is dark.
Yeah, maybe they can play around some high grounds again. Try and get some cliff action going on.
They're gonna have to hope for some type of overextension from Boom. That feels like it's the only hope back in the game for them. A big high ground defense with the Wukongs, and Boom just super overcommitting somehow into it.
All right. Well, and normally this would be the point where we'd say, well, as these heroes get stronger, so too does the illusions coming from the wall. But like,
they're not really those heroes.
No, it's like a refresher razor, right?
Yeah,
that feels bad.
No real stats on any of them. And it's time for high ground.
Okay. Boom. A minute left. Pressuring at mid.
I think the Axe is coming out on the razor in a second too. Yeah, he's gonna have it done. So speaking of that high ground with the refresher.
God. All right, well, they've got Blink Dagger on Darkseer. They've got BKB on Ember.
Okay, BKB on the Monkey King too. So
they need this.
They need to try to take. So yeah, like you said, I guess wait for that Aegis to go down and just try to take a big fight with your double BKBs and catch him off guard. But it's not going to be an easy one by any means.
No, it's quite difficult, and I mean, you kind of like you want to hit this timing of getting a fight with the BKBs, but likewise, you're still so far behind.
You are.
Like, you're another whole item behind.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be perfect, and if it's not perfect, it's not going to work.
Oh Jesus, this razor!
Yeah, I know.
Just the Eye of the Storms in the fights are going to end up killing heroes. Like the Monkey King and the Ember Spirit getting on top of him. It's. Oof. And look at Yopaj already. He's getting ready for, just in case of anything, building a Hex next, just to catch the Ember Spirit, catch the split push. I think they have a very good read on the game right now, that they have such firm grasp on all control.
Right, and of course, the main thing that they're going to need to do is just not overextend in a bad way. Probably wait for that next Roach. And you can see Team Spirit, like this would normally be the time when, okay, a couple BKBs, we're going to go for a smoke play, and that does look like what they're trying to do now. But I'm not sure if they're going to find anybody. Toronto Tokyo, it's running out.
It really feels like a 5-man Darkseer wall into a Boundless Strike. Still might not even do enough, honestly. Like, unless they, I don't know.
They need Ion Shells on all their heroes.
Everything has to be perfect. Yeah, honestly, it really feels like every little thing has to be lined up perfect, because these heroes, they're gonna get.
It might not happen.
Exactly. Even then, they might not get burst, and then BKB gets popped, Rum gets popped. Like, all the craziness kicks off. So, yep. Onto high ground. There's the first ult.
Lags. Ready to go. So they pop the glyph now, trying to slow down this game. They will, on Team Spirit, be able to take a tier 2 tower. So buying as much time as possible, but this is the time that Boom want to end this game. Not sure if Spirit are going to have what it takes to be able to deal with this pressure that's coming on in. As they throw it out. Ooh, arrow almost able to connect there. Tower dead. And Boom, they're going to back out, head towards mid now. See if they can find Roger.
That's all I've seen Roger been doing like all game. Like, just impetusing lane creeps. Hey, at least I got a buff, so it does more damage on lane creeps, right? But
this was the strat. All along, they had the answer.
I hope that wasn't the strat or the answer, because it is rough. Yeah, there's just, it really feels like they've got no way to take the fight unless it's like directly on their high ground. So yeah, keep trying to push the lanes out, probably get any type of farm, but Boom just getting way more.
And I like this too. They saw the Ember head down bottom.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, and they just walk right in.
Don't even have to worry about it. Maposhka gonna get found right at the start. Can he get the tether away? No. Arrow is out there and dead. And they go back in and get the racks. This is really good stuff from Boom here.
The wave though, they're probably gonna get the melee before the wave. Before that backdoor kicks in, let's say. It's going to be close. Mid,
they got him
it's going to meet. Okay. I saw Darkseer, I saw Collapse going to it, but Yopaj made sure that he was in the area.
Very nicely done. So yeah, they throw out a couple impetus shots, but it is only going to tickle there onto the Razor. And now they have Collapse with the X. Okay, not going to chase in. Dude, they're just playing so
they're playing so careful.
Content.
Yeah, this is very methodical by Boom. Not looking to make that mistake of going high ground by accident and getting killed somehow. They're playing it really smart.
These are TI champs after all. Like you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile.
Mm-hmm.
So not giving them anything. Boom, clearing out the jungle.
Like you said, they're just pumping out items so much faster. It's a full item, another one on top. It seems like for the Razor very soon. What is our Kunkka, I believe, almost has the Hex finished up that we were looking at him from before. Yep, almost done. However, on the side of Team Spirit, I believe they're going, I think I saw them going double Scotty. I think the Monkey King and the Ember Spirit were going Ive Scotty, if I saw that correctly.
Well, whoever gets it first is the right one, right?
Yeah, which one was it? Did he go Scotty or Lincoln's?
Yeah.
He went Scotty, so we've got double Scotty online we'll have double Scotty at some point.
Well, they're going to be hit with Scotty, okay?
Yeah.
That's just for sure. We know this.
That's true. Refresher untied. Oh my goodness.
Oh no. Get away, Team Spirit. Don't be here anymore.
Double
They're
smoke.
running out of the spider legs. Get away. Run.
They double smoke to get back onto their high ground. They do not want to fight outside the base. They know they have to get, like we said, a absolute perfect team fight. And even then,
wait a minute.
Might not be enough.
Is this the fight that they want? No, it's not. They're going to continue to run away.
I thought they were looking to fight around the cliff.
They could here, though. Oh, there's the punch, the pullback, vacuum wall onto only one. And Yopaj pops the BKB.
He goes down.
Let's go down. Now, afterwards, running into the Wukong's command.
Jackie
still draining all that damage.
FBZ
again. There's the Ravage, round one. Do they have round number two afterwards? Yadro getting in and away. And actually, Collapse is going to fall now. So a 1-for-1 exchange. If they can get out here, it would be clean, but I don't know if that's going to happen. No. Ravage number two takes down Toronto Tokyo. I mean, it literally could have been worse.
It could have been way worse, for sure. Is Roger?
I don't know if this is going to end the way you think it is.
He's going down.
Yeah, there's just not a chance for that one. So, Roger pops the heel, but Jackie comes on in, cleans up.
Toro? Going back in.
Okay, wants to get a couple more. Why not? If this works out, this could be huge. Jackie getting slowed down, but the Atos there, and it catches. Oh, the buyback coming from the aisle, but it's all too late as they take him down. No buybacks, and they might just run it on in.
Yeah. It was a pretty damn good attempt killing Yopaj before he kind of got anything off. He gets the BKB in the boat off, but it's after he dies. But the rest of them, as we said, it's way too much farm on these cores. And a great pickup there. We saw the Atos even coming into play. Perhaps Jackie would have died if it wasn't there from Skem. And boom. Unbelievably clean game. Pretty much no mistakes. It's 28-10. It feels like they just played this one more methodical than I think I've seen them play at this entire tournament, actually.
Well, and this is the thing, right? Like, this Team Spirit, so many of their wins have been from comebacks, and it feels like, in a way, it's maybe a bit of a bad matchup for them, and Boom absolutely wrecking, understanding what the strength of their draft is, their play style, and taking full advantage now. Mega creeps at 33. Team Spirit can't even get the normal punch out. Jackie BKBs, just TPs out of there.
Mega creeps. Yeah, no real comeback here for Spirit. Like I said, impeccable performance from Boom. Every single one of their core is just playing great.
GG,
they're just calling it. There's no way they can fight through Ancients through these megas with their heroes. So, wow, honestly, Boom. Whew. What a game.
I mean, yeah, it took a second for everybody to realize, the game is over.
Yeah,
that's what happened right there. And yeah, going to take a second for themselves to reconvene and figure out what they want to do next. But definitely needing to go back to the drawing tables for Team Spirit as Boom take that victory. And they did it exactly the way they've been doing it consistently.
Yeah, super early aggression. Dominating really like the mid lane, and it's just the preparation things too, like blocking small camp. They know how to set up Yopaj for this big success. It's all these little Darkseer's bottom, we have double range, catch him before it hits the creeps, make sure we zone him off from level 1. They did all the little things right, and you could see how big of an advantage they gained off of it. Even though we had some cute vacuum on high ground and bought Spirit some time to catch up, but that felt like it was the highlight for Spirit actually in that game.
Well, maybe we'll get to see it again during the replays. But for now, at least, they're going to take it 1-0 for Boom. We'll see if they can continue that. Or Spirit going to pull it back for game number 2.
Thank you very much, Lyrical and Fogged. And indeed, Boom take this first game of the best of 3 series fairly convincingly indeed. At the start, all the little things done right, let them have a lead. And then from that point onward, teams
scream until our last breath, every heartbeat. much, now I'm swallowed. Now I'm the fool while you're breaking rules. Dangerous path that I follow. Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it hurts as I bleed for you, cry for you. Oh, let me bleed as I bleed for you, cry for you. Oh,
For them, like I think this is tournament is also super important to give that boost of confidence moving on from the like when they get back to their region. It's just like to continue doing the same thing they're doing and like completely owning their region. They need this confidence on the international level as well.
Yes, just being able to get some LAN experience, not necessarily in their own region, but international LAN experience is gonna do great. Because once you play on the big stage, once you play at TI, which they definitely look like they're gonna do it, you need to be chill.
You really need to be chill, no nerves. I mean, we heard Tim say that he felt nervous.
Because Kyle was there,
Yeah, but then he chuckled after, and he didn't look nervous. To be honest, we didn't see him be nervous on the camera either, Effie. And he played his Mirana. I mean, that's the most comfort zone you can get.
Yeah, he said I didn't win, my teammates won for me, which I thought was very sweet. But I think that they really clearly love this Mirana, and they're going to play around it, especially if they get a new setup hero. So this Mirana really does elevate their like early and mid-game kill potential. I wonder why I feel like just take it out, man. Take it out in second phase.
And at the moment, I mean, you're speaking about taking it out. Team Spirit took a fairly long time to decide which hero they were going to ban, because in the previous game, we saw them ban out Sand King at this point, but they take a while and then, we saw them ban out Death Prophet at this point. They take a while and they end up removing Yopage's Kunkka from the pool instead. Team Spirit does have first pick, so they could take that Death Prophet for themselves if they really want to. They go for Enchantress.
Yeah, I have criticisms about this hero. I do think that Enchantress, she definitely got buffed, right? Her impetus got stronger on lane, and also all of the new neutral creeps in the jungle and her laning presence being stronger. She still suffers from the same problems that she always has. After the laning phase, if they don't have a lead and they're not snowballing, she just kind of dies and doesn't really do that much, right? She just provides vision, maybe tanks a few spells, but that's all that she does. So I don't know how valuable it is as a first phase, especially if something like Mirana counters it. So they better not give away the Mirana again if they're going to pick this Enchantress.
I also don't think this is a good first pick, because I don't think Boom is actually values that hero as much to even like get in the two picks after that. Then they clearly show that they have answers, like their favorite hero is Weaver. This tournament first phase as well. So I don't know. I think it's just a little bit early for the Ench pick. Even if you want it, you can pick at 8, right?
But guys, I do have to ask, is it Yopaj or Yopoi? Is that what he said in the interview?
That is what Skem said.
Yopoi?
But I feel like all I ever hear people is a
We
Yopaj.
have been, scammed. The way
To be honest, if I was Skem, I would also just Yopoi. Yes, name him Yopoi instead.
If the Boom Esports Twitter guy could please add us and let us know what the correct pronunciation is, that would be
we need a YouTube
nice.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone that has a clear voice saying either Yopoi or Yopaj.
But anyway,
Or Yopai.
Yopai. I think the Tidehunter actually looked really good last game. The minus armor with the Weaver was really nice too, and it just gave them some easy team fight to play around. Picking it in the first phase though is a bit more complicated, because now you can just counter pick it.
I mean, I'm worried for Team Spirit for this game, because this is pick 2. They only have 35 seconds left in their bonus time. Yeah. And it makes me wonder.
Well, let me
what
just
did they
check.
talk
Let me just check if they're at their PCs. They're there. Yeah, they're there. It's all good.
What did they talk about during the break? That's what they talked about during the break.
I was about to mention the TA, but they do think they do seem like they're not sure what they're going for, and like the first two bans, as you mentioned, Shiver, like it took a long time to decide like whether they want to ban the Death Prophet or Kunkka, and I like this TA pick. Actually, like it's really good for them. It's here that they can put both mid lane and safe lane for Yator as well, and it does do well against like Weaver and Tidehunter.
Now they're just going to cover the TA with the 3 bans here. Just going to ban maybe the Death Prophet now, ban the Bat Rider out, potentially ban Ember Spirit.
I would just suggest to Team Spirit to just get more stuns because I don't know, it just
great suggestion, love it.
it just feels like they know what they're doing, and when you have like a lineup with an IO, Darkseer, and Enchantress, it's really hard to deal anything like in the game.
Yeah, if heroes can roam around freely in a team fight and like you use a boundless strike, because those was mainly their source of stun on a one target, it just doesn't feel good, and they can always run away from the Wukongs. One thing I like about Boom Esports is they have Weaver Tide, so there's a ton of minus armor, and like even if they are playing against Templar Assassin, like they can also sneak in and try to steal Roche with these two. Maybe they win a fight around the Roche as well, so very easy to turn it. And we've seen so many times throughout this tournament when Templar Assassin does not get hands on that Aegis, at least the first one, she falls off.
Yeah. I think also Boom gave Team Spirit a little bit of breathing room by using quite a bit of their bonus time themselves for that ban. They end up removing the Invoker themselves. So, of course, keeping the option open that the TA could be flexible and not wanting to have the Invoker for themselves. I'm curious to see what Yopaj will play. If that is a TA going mid by Toronto Tokyo, curious to see what Yopaj will play against it, as the Razor just got removed on the side of Team Spirit.
I do think that they might go for the Death Prophet as well as the Queen of Pain for Yapaj this game, and for Team Spirit I would be looking for something like Disruptor to give to Miposhka.
Sure, it's always been, CIS classic. I want to see something that can lock down the Tidehunter. You cannot allow Tidehunter to be freely in a team fight and get the Ravage off, which was also a huge issue in the previous fight.
Yeah, or something like Ursa to deal with him on lane at least.
I like this Magnus fan a lot because I would have given Team Spirit a lot of what they needed. What do they lack right now, right? They lack team fight. They lack some kind of strong offlaner that can initiate for them. And they take out Collapse's signature hero, just like they did last game. So it's going to be a lot more difficult to make these plays if they do lose their lanes and come back. You can't come back with a Darkseer the same way that you can with something like a Magnus in their fountain in the late game, like Collapse has shown us so many times.
I think also the Sanking is quite fine for the Team Spirit.
It is.
Ember is still in the pool as well, so they opted to ban the Razor and the Death Prophet instead of Ember and the Death Prophet. So that's potential for Boom Esports to take it.
Boom always pairs up Mirana with something, some kind of a setup. Bane is gone, there is no Kunkka, but if they want to grab the Ember Spirit and then go for Mirana once again, I think that'd be also fine, but their last pick then needs to be some kind of tower damage, because they are very limited how they can push for even like tier 2 towers with these 4 heroes that I mentioned.
Mirana with the next, something was removed. Mirana was the next Ember pick. No, Data side is a pick Ember right now, and maybe to add Mirana on top of that later on.
Yep.
I can also go for something else, but give me that Tidehunter counter right now. Like I want to see something, whether that's Legion Commander, whether that's Disruptor, maybe even Doom, but then your position 4 needs to have some kind of stun, anything.
I like all of these examples that you mentioned.
So they did get their refraction counter in Ember. They also got a hero that can take advantage of all the minus armor from Weaver and Tidehunter. The only thing Ember really is afraid of is some kind of instant way to disable him. Okay, if No Tail were here, he'd be screaming about how much he hates Disruptor.
Yes.
But I think this is a pretty good Disruptor game because Static Storm is an excellent tool, not just in catching Ember Spirit, but Tidehunter. So Static Storm Disruptor has always been a counter to Tidehunter. You just drop the Static Storm, he can never crack and shell, and you can kill him before he gets his Ravages off, right? So even though someone would be screaming about this hero, I do think it has its merits, right? Instant disable.
It's a good pickup here for sure. Just okay. They
They
go with
take both.
they actually take both. But whenever you have Doom, you need to have a good chase potential. Traps will provide it with vision, also for the glimpse. So like you need to use Doom and be able to like lock them down. I like the approach from the team spirit so far, but there's still no stuns. There's still like no way for them to just like blink initiate until like Doom gets it. He also needs to find the creep, but that's pretty easy. But I want to see what they decide to go for here. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Mirana, to be honest.
Also,
I think it's Mirana too. I also like Doom with the Disruptor because it's always a problem to get a lockdown on the hero, and like you can always gleam the Doom target. So that's pretty nice.
Also, Doom benefits a lot from all the neutral creep changes. There are so many options for him to take in that jungle, and he's not as weak of a laner as he used to be. He can actually run down heroes like Weaver later on. If you pair him with something like an Enchantress, like this could actually be a very potent lane. You're gonna have like double creep abilities on the lane chasing your carry away. So the potential threat is there. My only issue with Doom is sometimes he does feel like a bit of a slower hero who does need to sit back and farm his own items. But Team Spirit never mind slowing the game down. It just feels like Boom are relentless though. They don't really let them play that farm game ever.
Ooh, new hero joins the fray.
Yeah, I mean, against Doom, it's always been a great counter, and then, like, you know that you're not gonna get doomed in a team fight, taking away from yourself, but yeah, looks good. Gives them that tower damage. Also, Roche taking potential is also there, so looks fine and dandy.
That's actually quite interesting because they decided to pick Wraith King this early and not like on the last pick, because they do still have a last pick, and it's probably gonna be what, position 4 last pick, or is it like tied position 4 with a position 3 something else like range Necrophos, but you don't want to play Necrophos into Doom.
Yeah, you're also playing into Enchantress, so there's a dispel mechanic.
Yeah, that's quite interesting that they decided to go with the Wraith King right here and now.
Over the Mirana?
Yeah.
I guess they assumed that potentially it could be on Spirit's radar because it is the classic counter to Doom, and this is the first Doom that we've seen. So it would make sense by extension that we would see the first Wraith King afterwards.
Yeah, but don't you find another hero that is also going to be good if the Wraith King is going to get banned? I'm pretty sure there's like on the last pick for the carries, there's a lot, but right now they're given the opportunity to Team Spirit to get a decent matchup against 3 of their cores for their carry.
Dazzle.
And I do think that Team Spirit is in need right now for Yatora to have a really active hero that is gonna, you know, or not Toronto, for Toronto, yeah. Some really active hero that's gonna make up for these both greedy cores on the side lanes.
Extra little bit of information that a lot of people already know is Yapoi.
Yapoi?
That was his previous name, and then he turned it around. It's the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vengeful Spirit, potentially, for Boom Esports.
That actually makes sense. Yeah,
They've got that added minus armor. Oh. What did you say?
It's, Yapoi is his name backwards. And he changed his name by turning it backwards a while back.
Right.
But if you're reading, Yapoi is my idol.
So
that's why.
Anything elusive is going to be good. Storm Spirit, I think for Spirit is fine because you have tower damage coming out from Templar Assassin. They go with the Dragon Knight. High armor, but they also like the damage output from Boom Esports early on is not going to be that great. Dragon Knight, one of the heroes that he doesn't care about slight, especially early on, so that makes him like super tanky, and it also like gives him a bit of flexibility because Dragon Knight can be played on the safe lane. Also, this can be offlane Dragon Knight and mid Doom.
Viper.
There you go. The offlane Viper with position 4 Tidehunter, as I mentioned.
Interesting. So I actually do like relegating this Tide to position 4 just because he did get countered by the Disruptor. And then once they hit the BKB timings on Boom, this Disruptor is going to be a little bit more useless than usual. But it's interesting for sure. That I like this swap up a lot, but I do like that we're seeing this Doom finally come out. This hero has so much potential to be a late game monster. They got the instant stun for Ember Spirit out of Dragon Knight, so that's going to be their way to catch him and then maybe follow up with a Doom. So both of these drafts look pretty good.
It's also Southeast Asia, so this might be a core Tidehunter. They might swap things around because we don't see it right now, but there's a possibility that they play Viper as a position 5. I don't think they want to save that for the last pick, but do you think Tidehunter's too countered by Doom and Disruptor, so they decided to swap?
I think it is.
I
think it's position 4 Tidehunter, and I'm a big fan of this Viper pick because TA is gonna have like a really bad game, especially if they come out of the lanes ahead and they can continue to follow the TA into the jungle, which they have a big potential to do.
Yeah, also they don't really have the best supports to get on top of a Viper, which is typically how you punish them later on. You just get on top of him and kill him. And it seems like he can play a great game. But I think that both teams really do have merit to their draft, and it's going to be a lot more even than it looked last
I hope so. I hope it's going to be a lot more even, because we like even games here, and we'll also like third games this series. But we're going to find out if we're going to have one or if Boom will punch our tickets to Final Sunday right here and right now. We're listening to the voices of Lyrical and Fogged.
Thank you so much, Shiver. And yes, Fogged, we're hoping for a game number 3. Now, if that's actually going to happen, I don't know, this Viper looks a little spooky.
It's a good Viper pick. He's versus TA and DK, breaking the DK, also versus the TA in lane throughout the whole game, actually, too, as well. It could be pretty frustrating, so I'm looking forward to see what Spirit's going to be able to do with this one. It looks hard.
Yeah, and I think that, like, again, just the sort of meta context of how this game is going. Boom comes, punches you early. I like some of the stuff that Spirit have. The Disruptor pick at the very beginning, we're kind of going back and forth about it, but it is Miposhka's most played hero, so that's something at the very least. They've got better team fight potential, but the edge is still there, and that's kind of one of those ones where we did see what happens when it fell off and wasn't able to get that early game impact. Roger, gonna need to make that happen.
Yeah, and let's see if they, I mean, it's a little weird to say this, but let's see where they put the Disruptor, because I don't know if I really want the Disruptor versus the Viper. I think you want to have the Enchantress. The creeps are really effective versus Viper, so maybe you even want to put the Disruptor top, which is like super not traditional, but I think that's just the way you might have to do it, because Disruptor versus the Viper isn't going to, I don't know how much he's going to be able to help, so we'll see if they want to do that.
By the way, that'd be awesome.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool. It actually looks pretty sweet. But
it's here in the arena, too. Yeah. That AR stuff, it lives.
There we go. We're zooming in. All right. So I see 6 tangos. I mean, that kind of looks like offlane items to me, that he's going to be playing in the offlane. My post, he's running into 5. He uses that. Okay.
But look, he got that Thunderstrike off, okay?
At least it's value. Even though it got nerfed, one of the abilities, of course, that's why we've been seeing even less Disruptor than before. Glimpse got buffed, but his actual nuke got nerfed. And that was one thing that people were really playing around inside the laning phase. And yeah, let's see. Let's see how they do so. It does look like they are putting the edge bottom. That's what I kind of thought.
Already off to the races now.
Who got the first blood? Sorry, really quickly.
Check.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that hurts.
So he'll have a bottle after the first wave. And let's see, the runes, they're going to get 3 as well.
Well, that's the start that Boom wanted. Yep. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And yeah, as we might point out, Enchantress is bottom. I think the TA, is he melded in the lane already? Just waiting to get the meld strike onto the Viper?
Yeah, looks like
he's waiting. So he wants to get the double meld. Look at the positioning he's in already. So perhaps they can maybe just go for a quick instant kill. But I see 3 heroes down here.
Yeah.
So maybe they catch him off guard.
Tim's has Gush ready to go, but FBZ right at the start.
I mean, are they really going to be able to just get Yatoro with this? No. Oh my God. This is.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Oh, Roger's actually the one who's tanking the poison attack. So Yatoro will survive. Okay.
So, I mean, how much regen? They don't have any salves in this lane.
No, they do not. So, I mean, really clever. I've seen Boom do this a couple of times now, where they start as this aggro and then just either get the first blood and then swap, or just immediately swap. So, really cool stuff. Does mean that top, the Doom, does get the whole first wave.
Collapse happy about that at the very least, but Team Spirit, this is not the way that you necessarily want it to start. Granted, you know,
he lived. He did survive, so that's one big thing. But
well, and it's also TA, right? You can play some catch-up stuff if you need to as the game goes later on. Maybe you get some stacks built up. Yeah,
but you're into, like we said, tough game. Ember Spirit Flame Guard is already going to be hard, even though, you know, on the lane versus Roger is like going down.
Yeah, the slow, steady burn down there. Will it quite be enough? No.
Tango was running. Even though I think he had all 5 stacks on him, too.
Yeah.
Able to survive. But yeah, Yatoro, every time he steps up, it's just, he's laning versus a Viper. He might even have to jungle pretty early on at some point in this game.
Well,
We'll see.
that's not what he wants to have happen for sure, but you know, it's what's going on. And right now, lane's going quite well on the other sides at the very least. You've got Doom 7-2, you've got DK having a decent time as well. Granted, Paj starting with that early bottle getting finished off.
Does he block the hard camp on bottom? Yes, he does. Tim's, he just keeps walking into it, body blocking, so there's not going to be that big creep for Roger. He does get an Alpha Wolf, so we'll be able to poke a little bit back toward that Viper, but not going to be able to zone the Viper by any means.
No, Viper's going to have a good time in that lane.
Yeah.
And Viper having a good time is just sad for everybody because that hero is so annoying to deal with, particularly when you're playing as the TA.
Yep. Or like DK as well too, right? Like. Ooh.
So the heroes they have.
Yeah, the heroes that they have. I mean, honestly, the heroes that they do have. It was a great last pick, and just it was a tricky one too. That's not expected because the switch up of the tide. But as you mentioned, yep, DK 12-6 to the 7-3 of Ember. Tokyo having an excellent one.
Do you see the creep there that the Doom got though? He got the broken one, the super duper broken one, the Mind Stealer.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that's the new OP kind of one in a way. Everyone has infinite mana in the lane, and you're also playing against no mana in the opposing lane because you just keep burning it. I think that's actually like one of the best level 1 creeps you can get now as a Doom.
Yeah, and with Maposhka just able to... I wonder if he takes a second point in the queue just to spam it out then, since he's got the creep on it.
They left... The Tide keeps walking away from the Viper down here. You can't actually leave him so much. I think this is kind of good, actually, for Spirit. They're able to get a pretty decent amount of farm on the TA. Viper's getting pushed away because the Tidern is not staying with him. It's pretty big.
Yeah, it does have a creep wave that's coming in now afterwards, so that's going to get a little bit better for FBZ. But like you said, even anything that you can get here for TA is very nice, since she's probably eventually going to have to head off back to the jungle.
Yeah, eventually she will still get pushed out, and they do actually get the kill on Roger as he steps up too far, and also Miposhka.
Ooh, a couple more punches, but is it going to be enough? Not quite.
Not quite.
Yeah, lives through that one. All the creeps could take care of it. Actually, he's ended up dying. He's brought down low, and he ends up dying to the
Wraith King, though. Wraith King might also die.
Dude,
Doom is chasing him.
Looking for it. Trying to find it. Does he get enough? The mana burn from downtown.
Not quite.
Oh, rough stuff.
And the mana burn is... Look at this. Doom can't do anything. Or, sorry, Wraith King can't do anything. He can't summon skeletons. He can't stun. Constantly just getting burned down. That is frustrating to play against.
Yeah, the skeletons did manage to kill Maposhka there, still showing the strength that they have.
Yep.
But he comes back in, throws out the Thunderstrike. Scam immediately has to run away.
This is kind of broken, actually. Yeah, Jackie just cannot lane. This Doom is going to get free farm. DK looks like he's getting free farm. So even though TA is getting shut down, it's 2 lanes going very well for Spirit.
And again, like, the fact that 1, the camp wasn't blocked, but 2, they also were able to get that creep spawning, right?
Oh, Miposhka, he's going to go down. The Mango popped onto the Wraith King just enough. 1 or 2 more taps.
Salve? No, not going to do it.
Burned his mana too, just so he couldn't Shikuchi, but yeah, touch up the hill.
Well, 5-minute mark coming up now. Roger killing couriers because he's out farming this jungle over here.
He has to play just not in the lane. He's just playing his own farm game because look where TA is. Viper is a full free lane and TA has to completely jungle as we kind of, it's expected to happen.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious if Roger's going to make a move with this. You've got the 5-minute mark catapult coming out. He's got the creeps.
He does have the creep for the pushing.
The rally could be kind of interesting. Yeah, he's running mid. I really like this play if Roger can make it work.
This is hype.
This would be super cool.
Because you can even get a secondary. You can think about getting a secondary control for him.
Yeah, Toronto.
So you can get the net after the stun.
And they're going to make this move on over. Dopage.
Oh, he's level 5.
Yeah, they take off that flame guard and pop it. The stun. Look at the creeps. They're going to do so much damage to him. Dopage gets torn apart.
And Tower's going to die in no time, too.
Yeah, they actually are in a ton of trouble. They want to make sure that they get the rally on the catapult, though, here. And as all of the skeletons are going to start to get that damage on, they move in range, and all these creeps are going to get a huge boost up in damage. Like, look at everything. Stacking up that damage, hitting on
Scam, he's going to die as well.
There afterwards. They're bringing everybody. They have to stop this because that tower is dropping so quickly to this catapult. And yeah, eventually they move on in, but look at how much damage that was.
And Scam actually survives. Gets the tango eaten. He was ticking down to the DK poison. Roger will go down. But yeah, tower nearly dies. They show back bottom. Miposhka's here as well.
FBZ pushing that one out, and Yadaro but able to make a life for himself. Like you talked about, that Tide leaving, having to head towards the mid lane, that sets up the TA to have a little bit of a better time. TP rotation coming in now.
This could be enough to go for the kill, as also Collapse is pressuring top.
Level 6. Doom
Doom's the weak. I mean, collapses.
Oh, he's
2v1. Look at him go.
He's not that afraid. Although, does need to watch out for the dive that's coming. Looks
He
for
gets it.
Yeah, can't quite.
Collapse. Gets that big swing.
Gets the final touch and finish and walks away afterwards.
Loses his courier, but gets his item before it does die.
All right, Roger's doing a lot better here on this edge this game around, at least. Feels like he's been able to make some solid plays.
Oh, almost to get the courier again. Yeah, the collapse on mid was perfectly timed. It was as the DK's hitting 6, Ember was still only 5. Catapult was coming in. Yeah, picture perfect. Is now Roger gonna make them work for this one. They're gonna have to chase. Yeah, Yopa's just like, nah, that's not worth it.
No, and in fact, there's just 3 heroes around him. Roger chased down, does have a TP, but not gonna opt. Oh, didn't TP, excuse me, that was Skems.
Still dies way too quickly anyway to all that minus armor. Still quite fragile. Tokyo though, ults back up. Time to knock on the tower, and yeah, very likely to get it put in deny range or just take it out completely.
Very nice. 7 minutes in. Skem, Tim's, hang out mid and don't give it to him for free.
Roger just got another courier with his creep.
What? That's crazy.
What, is that 2 or 3? I think he's gotten 2 for now, I believe. He almost got the 3rd, if I wasn't mistaken, but quite a bit of couriers.
A much better start to this game than I might have anticipated as they make the TP rotation. Toronto-Tokyo.
This mana. This mana burn has really caused problems for Jackie. Like infinite mana Doom just continuing running at him, just putting down to 0. Yeah, this is another tower just getting knocked on. And Miposhka, he's actually been the one who's taken the bottom lane completely. He's going to have a very early level 6 on this Disruptor.
Scam, mana burns. Can't get out of there. Can't Sakuchi, he's dead. Collapse, trying to survive through this one. Will they have enough damage to finish him off? No. And Roger takes off the bug, but will eventually get finished off.
Miposhka, 5.5. Bottom Jackie set up to push. Skeleton summon.
Yeah, they took that mid tower now as well.
Oh yeah, didn't even get denied, huh?
No. So bottom, they lose mid for bottom, and Miposhka still trying to soak up experience down bottom here to get towards that level 6 ulti. 9 minutes.
I mean, Collapse smoked out a base. Look at that. He really wants to just get down here. Maybe he has a Doom. He can go for the kill on the Viper.
Yeah, and there it is. Yep. Immediately out. Got him caught. And Jackie's just going to leave him to the Wolves. So they find another kill. Collapse having a very good game on this Doom. And Weaver also dies.
Well, oh my god, they're getting so much on the map. He tried to invade into Triangle, I guess. All right. Yeah, this Doom is a problem. There is a reason why we did see that Tidehunter move to the 4 position, because they did start picking too many counters versus the Disruptor, the Doom. That's why we saw Boom move it to that 4. But yeah, this Doom is really problematic. Look how tanky he is too. Like just phase boots plus Devour. Look at his armor. Since Devour, of course, people who don't know, Devour hasn't changed. It does provide you that armor now.
It's kind of crazy how strong that stuff is.
Yeah.
And again, like just seeing the power, like Wraith King's probably going to have to go into potentially a shard in this game if they keep this. I mean, eventually Collapse is going to want the stomp, but it's a problem. His mana just keeps on getting burned like that.
Yeah, it's frustrating. A lane that he thought was probably going to go a bit better, but Doom got more than full freeform, even getting some kills and towers. 2 of them taken out for the side of Spirit already, so good injection of gold, and yeah, feeling comfortable, especially because now they can feel a little bit more relaxed where the TA is able to farm some ancient stacks, and that's what the TA fully catches up.
Wow. Their backs up against the wall. Team Spirit needing to get a win here to keep their hopes of staying in this tournament alive. And so far, so good for the TI champs. Boom, up on the high ground, waiting for Miposhka to step too far forward. He's being a little bit of a barrier between the team and his Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I think it's huge. Like, I think Spirit came out a lot further ahead in the lanes than I thought they would have, just because of that Viper versus TA matchup. The way that they did it was perfect. This is the TA not really playing the lane. He's now ahead of the Viper. So that tells the whole tale of how well they did play around it.
Armlet coming up soon for Jackie. I mean, that is the other answer that they've got eventually. Like, yeah, annoying to deal with the mana burn in the laning stage, but still a good answer for the Doom. A very strong hero nowadays.
Yeah, but this Doom is likely to get what? His BKB super early, his BKB and his Blink Dagger. He's just going to be able to run at and pick and choose his targets. And likely, like, he's just going to Doom the Ember Spear and the Viper most of the time in these fights. Okay. The Disruptor is going to have the job of going for the Static Storm on Tide and Ember.
Oh, and the smoke breaks there.
Oh,
a bit
the
too
trap
far.
slow.
That was really good. Dang.
Slows him before he gets the Remnant out, so the Remnant's really slow.
And they have Static Storm now, if they want to go for this.
3K lead.
A great start for Team Spirit, and Yadro can just sit there mid and doesn't have to worry about anything. Jackie's getting mana burn. They're getting farm on the Doom. Like, yeah, you can do what you want. The pull him back in. The Static Storm, he's done. Wants to walk in and get a Ravage off, or just go for the Anchor Smash and realize he can't get anything done afterwards. So, 3,000 gold lead. Popping Dragon form now. Everything going the way of Team Spirit, and boom, don't really have an answer. Walk in, stun, comes out a second too late.
Oh.
Actually, Remnant's through.
He has a haste rune. He's going to be forced to use it.
Oh, wait, the enchant,
Can he get the dispel? It's too far.
They
with the
pull
glimpse.
back. And...
Nice play.
Oh, really well done.
Just with the slight, he dodged it. That was beautiful.
Ember's crazy. How is this hero balanced? Like,
I mean,
what the heck?
there's so many little tricks and stuff too with the hero. Like, there's one really crazy one that he can only, while you're remnanting, you can only slight to the right.
Oh, yeah?
There's like, if you do the slight while you're mid-remnant, you can only do it facing right. You can't do it facing left. Just doesn't allow you to cast it. There's so many little nitpicky tricks that a lot of these players do know. As we saw there, of course, the slight really nice is Tokyo. A few seconds left on his ult, but it's the Wraith King.
Yeah,
Not the target he wanted.
They're not going to go for it. Yeah, Yopaj, I mean, this has been his hero for so long. Takes a big chant hit there. But I remember a couple of his, like, remnanting through and getting Age of Steals, all this stuff. He's always been really good on it. Miposhka, no Static Storm for 10 seconds. Collapse hanging out nearby him. Maybe going to take that bug off. They chase in with all those heroes and can't catch on the little Miposhka.
Wow. Not wanting to expend the Ravage. Now Disruptor, though. Once you overchase and then you don't get the kill, you can get glimpsed back. Gotta be careful.
And look at all these heroes. Like the mini-map down there, it's everybody from Boom on the bottom side, and the entire map is being farmed out by Team Spirit. Just immaculate play.
Do you see which creep the Doom actually took? He took the Purge creep, so Flame Guard, he can just dispel it inside of the fights. Roger will go down, but yeah, this Purge creep is, I think, something that has always been one of the more broken creeps. Just how much you can actually do with it. It is expensive, so one thing we do have to, of course, talk about, but...
Jump in, stun. The smoke was heading up to the top side, but they caught him on the other angle, and BKB already out for collapse and silence. FBZ in trouble, going to fall most likely to this Doom. Slow and steady, they burn him down. Still have that ulti if they want to use it. Miposhka getting chased in. Does he manage to get out of there? Yopaj chase and slowed and hides off to the side, but it wasn't quite going to be enough. Now Collapse still hanging on to that Doom, and they won't chase him any further, it looks like.
And Tokyo going out with just a sliver of HP as well, too. Things continue to go in Spirit's favor. All three cores, top of the net worth. Even their Enchantress having a pretty decent time in a Ravage that only ends up getting a Disruptor. And
oh my god, this guy's crazy. Yopaj loses his mind and walks right into a heck of a big Doom, but going for a deny possibly there. Can they get it in time? Not gonna happen. Scam wanted it to happen, and Collapse might end up paying the price. Can they get the final touch onto him? Bugs go out, not quite gonna be there.
Doesn't hit him.
They dodge away the heal coming from Roger the whole time through, and now Scam gonna try and get out of there. Tim has an angle on the gush, but they won't be able to go for it.
And the glimpse?
They pull him back again. Why not? Tips is going to get chased down. The weirdest fight ever. I don't know why Yopaj went in right there, but regardless, Team Spirit take a huge victory.
I think he just didn't know that they were there. He was just jumping back to his Remnant and just lands right on top of him. That disarm creep actually almost got the Doom killed. It disarmed the Enchantress for 3 seconds, and he couldn't impetus, so he was beating on the tide. That was actually really close for a second, but these small creeps. Oh, how frustrating. Has another one, 4K lead, continuing to have perfectly effective Dooms, every single one.
It feels like it's almost been off cooldown. Like every time it's up, they're making a play happen.
Yeah. Double David Blink Dagger on Tokyo. Did he just ult a creep?
You know.
He ulted a creep.
That's how it happens sometimes. Although it might still be enough damage. They're doing so much
They still got him. Scam.
And Roger also going to go down. All right, Boom have had enough of their shenanigans. Going in for this mid-tier 1 tower.
I was like, where the hell did the ult go? Like, did he dodge it? I was like, wait, what? He can't dodge it. That was a little weird. But anyway, they got the kill. We see that break coming into play too. High magic damage, and now perhaps able to turn it into a full tower. Don't know if Spirit can react. They did use a lot before to get the kill, but Slaps just continues to find these grabs.
They go in, and he found an opening there. Tim's chasing forward. The Kraken Shell takes it off. While Yadro is still just farming on the other side. Chased down by FBZ, but slowed down on the other side of it.
Level 13 on Yato already with the Deso Dragon. He's pretty pretty damn huge. They could look to force a Roche pretty soon. I think now is the moments where Boom has to be a bit cautious how they use their ults, just because if they make one mistake with the ults,
that creep, he never saw it coming.
He died. He got that farm. Actually, does he even get the last hit on the creep? No. Oh, I stole it.
Stole the creep.
Look at that.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
All for Yopaj.
But yeah, big moves. And I'm going to keep eyes on Ravage. I think if they expend a Ravage in a bad spot, immediately when, like Team Spirit, if they do die or whenever they do respawn right afterwards, it's going to be a straight run to Roche. They could even sneak it. That's the thing, too, is Enchantress plus TA could actually just duo it as well, too. So I think Boom has to play around this area, keep looking for kills onto TA.
Yadaro, he sees him coming, but the jump forward is there. Can they do anything to stop this? It's hard. Skim, he ends up falling right there very low, but the time lapse gets him away. And yeah, they take him down one by one. So 2 dead.
That's exactly what that's the way you can use the Ravage to get the TA. Now you can still play around this area. You still need to keep tabs around that Roshan for when they do respawn, but a big hit. They're pretty much fully back in the game. The Doom is enormous, but now they're getting their Wraith King into a nice and comfortable spot with his Blink Dagger and Armlet. They can keep looking for aggressive plays. Doom, his backup collapse.
He just is so free to do what he wants in this game, but has he gone too far? Finally, bugs are out. BKB.
Oh, he got baited!
He got it, no! Dude, Yopaj on one right there and collapse. Yeah, that's the face of somebody that just went for the Doom on the illusion as they managed to find themselves another pickoff. Maposhka goes down.
Oh, what a bait by Yopaj. Just throws the illusion in front of him.
This guy's pretty good.
And now no Doom. Now it's like, okay, now we can't actually go for that Roche because they have the area control and they're gonna have their Ravage back up. That's a big one. Having Doom used there, the next fight they're gonna have Ravage up. When Doom comes up, they're gonna be able to take the fight head on anyway.
Really solid stuff. Yeah, it feels like they're gonna need to find the Static Storm maybe and use the Doom on the Ember. But yeah, knew it was coming, waited for it, and well, got the immediate Doom out there onto the illusion. Felt real sheepish about it.
Collapse knows as soon as the first tick of the Infernal Blade.
Skem still playing aggro. Boom, maybe looking for a fight. I mean, this is all under vision.
They're broken.
They have everything. They're
both
see it
broken.
all. Tim's moving in afterwards. They're going to try and TP out, and they do manage to escape, but that ward catching everybody. Poshka, Yadaro will manage to back out, but look at the last couple of minutes, how much the gold lead has changed.
It's been really good team movement. Really, the macro game from Boom has been perfect. Viper gets the double break as well there too onto the DK and the Enchantress, so both almost get taken out. Miposhka, he's trying to salvage like the air division area. Like Boom is just moving too fast, controlling these areas.
Collapse, they run into him again. 50 seconds still. Doom is up, does get the Hoof Stomp afterwards onto Skem. Tims, do they want to play aggro? Skem brought down again. Infernal Blade. Slowed. Maposhka gets all the vision in the world and collapse down low. They don't have enough.
Wow,
they're playing so well.
They are playing so well around everything here.
Now, got Blink
a blink on the 4-position tide at not too bad of a time, pre-20 minutes. And he does have a Philosopher's Stone, definitely helped a tiny bit, but it's only been there for like 2 minutes, so not too much, but Hyperstone finished up on Jackie. He's fully recovered, level 14. Yeah, they're 3 level 14 cores. It's pretty much similar on Team Spirit, but look at the scores of the 2 supports on Team Spirit. They have 13 deaths between the 2.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, 13 of the 16. So that's actually quite a good thing, I guess you could say, because it's not the cores who are eating all those deaths, but those kills do start to add up, of course.
Right. Well, and the other thing is you've got this really interesting, like, 3 scaling type cores going on. Did you see the build that Viper's been going for? Dragonlance, Sanjin, and Yasha.
Yeah.
Like, he is going to have some damage.
I was going to say, once he gets, if he's able to ever get, like, a Scotty, that's where the game just feels like it's absolutely impossible. TA and DK, you cannot even play the game if his Viper gets that big. So I actually really like that he's going for scaling build rather than going for any type of, like, your Greaves or Athos, I guess, the Gleipnir kind of stuff. That could have actually worked, but I like that he's doing this, especially into like Doom. He's going to be so damn tanky.
Oh, they're going to move out again, try and scout things, and this has felt like the big differential is, the vision that Boom is playing around. Yadaro tries to get out of there. The bugs spot him. And Boom, they're still hunting. They're ready for a fight right now if they want to.
They're the ones who want to be the aggressors, because once you start playing defensively, as we've talked about a lot versus Disruptor, that's where he thrives, right? You start getting these catches. But if they're the aggressors, they keep just chasing in. Spirit doesn't really have anything to halt them. They're starting to get a bit far behind on the DK in particular.
Yeah, he needs to keep that momentum going for Toronto, Tokyo.
Really
get to BKB.
Yeah, he needs the BKB or he's just food. Like the Ember Spirit and the Viper just they do way too much magic damage. They shred him in no time.
And they're getting close to that. That will be a big timing. But, TA not being able to get the Aegis and that Lincoln Sphere, that is really good.
Yeah, already picked up on the Ember Spirit. Another great pickup. They're preparing themselves. Like, they're going to have a really good window here.
And it hasn't been revealed yet. Jackie, if I'm a Pushka, done. So they still don't know about this Lincoln's yet. Blink out. Now they're going to see it. Yopaj catches up to the side. Beautiful performance in Toronto, Tokyo. The BKB is going to take a little longer to get over there.
They have such easy ways to catch. Just Light Chains, Blink Tide now, Blink Wraith King. On the sides of Spirit, it's just starting to feel like they don't have the same forms of catch and control. It's always getting ran at, always under. It always just feels like they're the ones under the vision. Even though Spirit's actually the one with TA, it feels like it's just boom all over the place with that vision game.
A really impressive showing here.
Yep.
And this team, I mean, you look at sort of how they've grown and playing around, just an immaculate performance so far from Yopaj and everybody else. FBZ, they've all had standout games. We'll have to see what the answer is for Team Spirit here.
They're getting a gem. That looks like it's an attempt and an answer from Miposhka. I think they're starting to be like, how do they know where we are? How do they know all of our movements?
Yeah.
How are they always getting these perfect jumps on us? So yeah, gem picked up from Miposhka. Gonna take out this ward, but it's done its damage.
Yeah, over there on the other side as well.
He's scared to actually make the way down. They don't have much information on the map at the moment.
No. Over there as well, they place down some more wards around where the Roche fight is likely going to take place, but they find him again. Collapse off in the jungle, farming away. Slow down, BKB TP out, and that should get him out of there. My God, that was scary though.
The bugs, his armor.
Yeah, that's a dangerous one.
If he was not digesting the creep pit there at that moment, he would have been dead. But you usually are just digesting.
Yeah. So very close amongst all of the cores. You look at the differential in net worth, and it's only about 3,000 between the top and the bottom of the cores.
But you're really feeling that power from Boom, right? I think they have the AC finished up on the Wraith King, so this Desolator on the TA is not going to be as effective as we've seen, and they're looking for a kill before they go for the Roche.
Dude, how did they keep on having all this vision? They got a gem on Team Spirit, but they haven't been able to clean everything out yet. They just haven't had an opportunity. That part just scouts it.
He's ready to go. Like, as soon as they see it.
Dude,
oh my God.
The Ravage, it catches on to both. Just like that, they didn't stand a chance. The BKB from Yadaro, but will it be enough? Tim's drops down, and that's a good separation. On the other side, though, they look for more. The gem is on the ground, and Collapse also, he's under the ground.
This game is just completely gotten out of control, and now they lose the gem, so the TA traps, everything gonna be taken out. Boom has blown this game wide open, have just complete control of the game.
This is so impressive. I mean, again, like this team, they come on in, they absolutely wreck here. They went perfect in the group stages, got one little hit down to knock them to the lower bracket, and haven't looked back once.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like it's not like Spirit has the lineup that outscales them either by any means, especially with the way that they're building. The Viper, as you mentioned earlier, going for this full kind of carry build too. Wraith King's got all he needs. I mean, they're all queuing up Scotty now too. Like Wraith King even too. He's like, I'm playing versus DK TA. Yeah. I reduce the healing from the DK. I slow through BKB. Playing versus TA, it's double effectiveness pretty much versus those ranged heroes. So if he wants to go for it, it makes sense.
Can they do this here though?
Can they go for this?
I don't know.
Boom's already here.
I don't know. This is not going to work. And well, Static Storm down. Yadaro tries to turn, wants to get some kills. The Psyblade action that's coming in play. They burn through one life, but can they do any more afterwards? Collapse, he's caught to the side now too. Wants to run away, but boom, there is nothing to run away from. They're all there. They're surrounded him. Collapse is going to drop also. Just immaculate performance.
Good God.
From Boom.
These guys are good. These guys just, they're reading the map. Just I don't know how they're reading it so well. They're making the moves before even Spirit sets up the moves to go for these gank plays. They already had the numbers there. And how many kills and just successful moves in a row does it feel like it's been? I don't know, 15 or something like that, where it doesn't even feel like Spirit's gotten a rebuttal.
Yeah, and like that's a Century Warrior. Like
this game's over.
It's completely over.
There's nothing that Team Spirit can do anymore.
Well, Boom, they came on in. They took game number 1, and it did not look that hard, and it is not looking that much different in game number 2 here. As Team Spirit, they just weren't ready for the pace at which they're playing. Like you talked about, the vision that they had and the reading of the map. Just on another level. Literally on another level.
They break the Lincolns. They get the glimpse.
Okay, Yopaj.
He's got the
stun.
ring,
Not going to happen. One little impetus hit is all they can put on to Yopaj.
And now, yeah, it's the game of where it's the mistakes, right? Game of mistakes, it's up to Boom to throw, and I don't even know how many high ground dives it would take because their lineup, it scales so well. They have so many ways to cover each other too, and yeah, Spirit's just, their damage is lackluster.
It's really impressive because this is about the same time last game when the similar stuff happened. And Boom, once they hit that switch, it's all aggression, it's all outgoing, and they have the heroes that they can maybe even try and like keep this pressure on, start taking down the rest of the towers.
Absolutely. I think, just keep going. They have nothing to worry about in this game. They have the gem, so they have full map control. We can bring up that vision if you want of the Radiant, so you can see how sad Spirit's map looks. They can't see anything. They have no traps really on. They have like 4 traps on the map, which is actually not too bad because now they're playing at the gem. But Boom is just completely controlling the map, completely controlling everything, and it's all about objectives now at this point for them.
Yeah, tier 2 tower down in the mid. They see everything as Boom are going to also pressure up top. Still 2 minutes left on this Aegis for Yopaj. And at the moment, at the very least, Spirit need to deal with some more skeletons knocking on their high ground, propping the drums. FBZ hit from low ground. What are you going to do? There's nothing. They finally show back up with Miposhka, collapse, looking for maybe a wraparound or something, or just going to cut the creep wave, not sure.
No, he needs to go back. I mean, 2 sets of racks is going to be too much for them to deal with anyway. Let's see how they do if they try to take a fight.
Jumps in, stun is there. What's the follow-up? They need something, and they need a whole lot more. He's down to about a quarter HP. Jackie will fall once. Can they do it again now? Collapse, they jump in with the Emperor, trying to find a kill there. Yadro, they Doom actually onto that Wraith King for a second life, but they don't have any follow-up.
He just walks away.
Oh, that one hurts. And Boom, they can just wait this out. Now with no Doom, they can come back for round 2.
He can just wait. Oh, look, a DD top. He's going to heal up off these creeps, though, in the meantime. And they can reset. 40 seconds, go reset, and then go for it again. And he did actually pick up the Scotty, as we were talking about on the Wraith King as well. If he wants to also on the Viper, I'm fine with it. As we said, amazing item this game versus the 2 cores, even all 3 cores of the side of Spirit.
Boom, smoke up, and there it is. Ready to run in.
Yep.
What is the answer for Team Spirit? They've got to know that more aggression is coming their way.
How long on that Wraith King ult? That's probably what they're waiting. Just slightly on. 15 seconds. Yeah, they're good to go.
Cowards.
Oh, it's Miposhka. He just walked back.
Oh, no, Miposhka.
60 seconds. He just walked out. He just was like, let me get a ward out here. Oh, no.
Yeah, and that's going to be a second lane of rack.
Oh, man. Wow, Boom.
What an absolutely stellar performance from these guys. They got a butterfly now done on the Viper. This is completely a spanking. It's just gone on the entire game, it feels like. And it was looking fairly okay for Team Spirit, but now, Boom, there is one hero from Team Spirit in their base, and it's just Roger, the poor old Enchantress, saying, yeah, I'll stop him, don't worry.
They're just watching.
Tier 4s go down.
They're just ending. They're like, okay, you don't want to GG out? We'll make you.
Go on in. GG called, and Team Spirit, without even a chance to get a fight, they're going to be brought down by Boom. One celebratory Ravage as Boom are going to be playing on the final day.
Damn. All right.
Oh, look at that face. He knows. He's ready.
That was super impressive. Again, after we saw Collapse have three or four perfect Dooms, it felt like. Then he gets like 1 Doom on Illusion and the whole game explodes open. They just find like 1 million picks. They get every single objective perfectly, and gotta just say, macro game from Boom is on another level. These first 20 minutes, or first 25 minutes, it's almost flawless.
Yeah, you've got to be careful for those guys. You look at how well they've played this one, and we're going to see probably some research done on how they were able to do it. I would love to hear some stuff from the interview about Kyle, about how well they're able to read the map, because it was honestly just really impressive to watch. So many times it felt like they were able to catch heroes as they were just out farming that one extra camp. And I
think I have to give credit, of course, to the drafting. I think there's always like really clever stuff when you have Tidehunter, you see Disruptor, you see Doom, you're like, not the best Tide core game, so let's just swap it. Oh my god, it's an amazing Viper game. They picked this Viper TIS to jungle, which isn't really the best kind of situation. And it's not just about the lane. The whole game, you're a TA versus a Viper, so it's really tough to just do anything.
Oh, big kids coming on out here for Boom. And of course, credit to our 4th place as well. Team Spirit put on a really good performance throughout this tournament. I think they struggled a little bit at the start, but then started to look really good.
And with a stand-in, right? Yes. Too, we have to keep on saying that they had Roger, who had some pretty good performances throughout this tournament, but definitely you can see how they're missing Mira. And yeah, looking forward to see the full squad again soon. But Boom, continuing to impress, honestly. Like, these guys, awesome to watch. Yopaj is always a treat. FBZ as well. They always seem to just do some really cool stuff in their game. So
And they got some charisma too. I want to see some more of their interviews. They're cute little guys. But for now, we're gonna head on back to the panel. Let them break this down as we finish off the penultimate day here.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, guys. Boom, taking it to 0, making it to the final day. I also want to hear more from the guys, and we probably will in a little bit when Kyle joins them on stage. But let's first hear something from our panelists, because we got Effie, Resolution, and Lacoste here. And I must say, Lacoste, it looked like Team Spirit was going to do it. They were getting a little bit ahead on the net worth. It looked like it was a lot more even, and then it wasn't.
I mean, they talked about Fog pointed it out in the end, like that one Doom on the illusion, and also the way they're reading the map, and they can predict the movement where Team Spirit is going to be is just incredible. Like throughout this whole tournament, they've been really impressive by the way they move and how aggressive they can be after like the laning stage is done. Like you can see all these little pieces coming together, and man, the more I see, the more I like this team.
And also, like, the brilliance of the last pick, the Viper, it actually made so much difference in the way they play and the way they could apply pressure to this TA as well. And I would say this game around, like, the drafts were even to me, like maybe slightly in the favor of Boom, but like the performance for Collapse definitely like made the Team Spirit look very solid in this game and like take a good lead. Like at some point they had 4 or 5k lead. But just like the way Boom playing around the map, the way they move together, the way they fight is just like, I don't know, it's just another level.
What are your thoughts on like support duo like Enchantress Disruptor, Shadow Demon Enchantress, like IO plus Treant?
I mean, this lineup is just well balanced to me. They have a decent balance between greed, between all the moves, like between the pressure early on, but it's just Boom didn't allow them to play their own game. It's just like from one certain point, I don't know, it's like 12 or 15 minutes into the game, it's like all the moves are completely from Boom, and Team Spirit couldn't make a single one.
I know you're not a big fan of Enchantress, Effie.
No, I just think this hero's mega overrated. It's so overrated. Like, they've prioritized it in the first pick, and unless you're snowballing out of your lanes and this hero gets a good start and gets some net worth, she just doesn't do anything later. Sure, there's a lot of new creeps, but I mean, it's not going to salvage the problems that she still has in the mid to late game, right? But I just want to shout out Boom, because they are so good and they are so confident, because they were playing together. They were making these macro movements when they had a net worth disadvantage. They were choking out Team Spirit when Team Spirit had the lead in terms of gold, right? Just to be able to do something like that versus the TI winners as a brand new team, your first ever LAN event, that takes confidence more than anything.
Yeah, I believe this is from the previous game that we saw, but I think I mean the result was the same. It was Boom all the way. Some moments of light for Team Spirit, of course, but at the same time, the macro game, we talk about it a lot because Boom just seems to be on another level when it comes to that. And on another level as well, on a platform over there is Kyle, together with Skem, I believe.
Hey, how you doing, viewers at home? I'm here with the captain of Boom Esports, who are on an absolute roll. Skem, have you ever made it this far in a tournament?
Not really. My best place in the tournament is 6th place, I think, in the major, Singapore major.
Gotcha. That was the best place I ever had to. I understand. You're already miles ahead of me. You're just getting started. What is like the secret ingredient? Because this is the first team that I believe you've captained. Was that a big change for you, shifting into the leader's shoes?
It's a long time ago already that I want to be a 5 and a captain. But for this team, we really don't have like a real captain. It's just like in-game, me and teams command early and mid and maybe the course late game. Then Mushi do the draft. Yeah.
Got you. So does he ask you guys questions, or is he more of like, you know, is he 95% of the draft, a little bit of insight? Is it like 70-30?
Yeah, he asked us about what we want heroes, but he is still the last person to choose what we're gonna play.
Gotcha. So does it also include giving you information on how you want to play the game? Because especially in that game too, you guys are really fast. You're constantly making moves around the map. Who's making those shot calls, or is that part of a pre-planned strategy?
Usually it's me, Teams, and Japoy really controls the early and mid shot calls. Especially when we are winning early, Japoy call.
Got you.